the interior bulb I sprayed up last week, and also we're going to be fitting this. So what we need to do first off is grab out some tools to remove the instrument binnacle. So the binnacle, as you know already, is held on by two cross heads. So let's grab the battery for the drill / screwdriver, grab the screwdriver attachments. So that, let's get some bits, and that should do the job. Right, let's fire up the drill. So we'll need that on reverse. Right, there's one. And there's two. So we'll place those into the centre console here, which is a good enough area to pop them. Binnacle obviously just lifts off like so. To wrestle it out slightly. Trapping that in place. There you go. You have to wrestle it a little bit. So that's the binnacle off. Next thing we need to do is release the instrument cluster, and as we know from previous times of doing this, it is 3 screws. These are the same sort of screws that hold the binnacle in, so don't worry if you get them mixed up. 2 and 3. Okay. Now I don't need to disconnect the actual instrument cluster. I need to be able to just manipulate it around so I can see the NCVT bulb, which is on the, so you're looking at it, it'll be the right hand side, so as it's positioned here it's going to be nearer the top. So we remove that bulb, that actually sits there quite nicely of its own volition. Then we grab our modified LED, so there's one end. And here's the end with the soldered pieces on. And we screw the soldered pieces into the socket. That's if indeed they will fit. So I haven't actually trialled this at all, so I'm not even sure if this will work. So on the journey with me. Damn it, I might actually need to remove this to have a look. So removal is just unplugging. So we've got solder blobbed onto one side. If I can press this down a bit more. Well, the hope is I can actually twist this round to meet up. Right. So what I did in the end was I trimmed down the connector a little bit and then just popped it in with the aid of the needle nose pliers. Now if I press the sport button on the transmission, selector, the OD off light. I don't think you can really see it on the camera, but the OD off light illuminates, which is my now equivalent of the sport button. So what we need to do now is we'll just unplug these from here, and the work on the other side of the dash is actually done, so we can manoeuvre the wires, tuck them around here so that they're nicely out of the way, pop them in there for a second, and we can refit the cluster. So we need our 3 crossheads. So 1, 2 and 3. 2 and 3. If you wonder why I got the engine running, even though it's quite overcast outside, it is quite stuffy in the car, so I've got the air conditioning running, which is never a bad plan, because if you don't use the car every day, it's always a good idea to exercise, if you've got air conditioning, to exercise the circuit every week or so for at least 10 minutes a week. Some people say doing it for once every 10 minutes a month, but I always stick by the weekly, even in winter. But air conditioning is invaluable in winter because it helps clear, as long as the temperature is above a certain level, it will actually help clear the screen quicker. So the next thing I want to do is to drill into the binnacle. Now if I put the binnacle down onto, so just rest it here slightly and have a look at it. So the light is in this area here, the cables are down there, so I could either put it here, which would be quite a nice place to have it, or here. If I put it here, it's more within my line of visibility. I could use this blanking panel, but this blanking panel is for the electric mirror switch, and it's not beyond the realms of possibility that I may actually get electric mirrors at some point. So what we're going to do is to drill into there. Right, what we need to do now is go and get some drill bits. So we've got our selection of drill bits. Looking at the size of this, that's about 10mm, so we'll probably need, I would say, go for a 9mm bit to be safe. What's the maximum size that we have? So that's 13. I think we'll try this one. Now it might be worth having on standby a spare binnacle. So if you muck this one up, at least you've got a known good replacement. Optional, you can mark up where you want to drill, and you can also put in a little pilot hole as well. So I'm going to start it here so you can see what I'm doing, and then I'm going to move it away. So we're going to go about here. About there should do it. Well, that's very interesting for you to watch, so I'm going to pause that and get the hole done. So what I had to do was I used an 8mm drill bit because I don't have a 9, and with the 8mm I drilled through and then just rounded it off a bit by just rotating it at an angle like that. And what you should get is quite a snug fit for the actual illumination part, the actual filter. Now mine is at a slight angle, so what I'm going to do is grab my flat-nosed pliers, just gently rotate it ever so slightly so it now reads up correct. Consequently, because this is actually such a tight fit, I may not actually need to put on the backing screw. We will do it anyway because they are there. Though to do it, we have to squeeze in here, so that one in there. Actually, that doesn't really fit properly, but the fit is tight enough that we. Actually, going to be honest with you, I don't think we need this at all because the fit is tight enough that we don't actually need those little that little nut and washer. So what we'll do is, hopefully I'm getting this on camera. There we go. So what we'll do is we'll screw the actual LED into here. For a little extra security, you could put a blob of hot glue around there, which would not be a bad idea at all, to be honest with you. Right, I'm actually going to lower the steering wheel a touch so I can get this in a little bit easier. So we're going to come in over the top. Hopefully if I move that here, you can see what I'm doing. And we're going to meet up at the top here, but we need to meet up with my connectors. So what we need to do is we'll just plug these in. So we're going to go here, plug those in. Now what we'll do very quickly is we will turn on the ignition and yeah, it illuminates and then switches off, which is exactly what you want. So that's basically the system. The auto gearbox is checked and all the control circuits for the auto gearbox are also checked, ECU, etc. So the ECU performs a check, and once that check is verified, the light turns off. If the light stays on, you've got a problem with the auto transmission or associated control circuitry. So those wires tuck down into the fuse box relay area quite nicely. And this, if I move that down there, tucks in quite nicely into there. We've got a little OD light here, so if I do this, it illuminates. If I press the sport button out, it says OD off. And perfect, so we've now got that light back, which is very useful. Right, next task is to put the binnacle back in place. So for that we need our screwdriver attachment, which is somewhere. There it is. And we've got our two screws to go back into the binnacle itself, so we can move the steering wheel back up and put the lever back in place. We've got this one which goes into here. There we go. And this other one which goes into the other side here. Right, now the next one is centre console. So let's focus on the centre console, and we're going to be changing out the bulbs in the heater pack. So we're going to undo, oh, wrong way, undo these two first. So there's one, and two. Pop those up there this time. Now if you remember, we've got a couple down in the ashtray area, so we're going to grab those out as well. And conveniently that fell straight into that little tray down there, which is handy. There we go. What we should be able to do now is very gently work this forward and just let it rest here. We don't want to disconnect anything, we just want it resting out the way. And we've got the 4 screws on the heater pack. Right, thankfully all the screws are actually the same across the these parts of the dashboard, so don't worry if you get the wrong one at all. There we go. This here can probably be removed with some suitable solvent. Oh! There we go. So that's out the way. And that gives us access to the heater instrument panel. So we actually do need to get some. I'm going to try some white spirit on that to try and get rid of that overspray, because that is really annoying. This isn't white spirit, incidentally, this is a baby wipe, which baby wipes are fine when you've literally just applied the paint, but they're not so great when the paint's been on there for a little while. Although you do find they do work to a certain extent if you keep at it. But we'll get some proper spirits onto that. So for this, we're just going to gently pop it out. So that's like so. And if I remember rightly, last time I was able to rotate it at an angle like this, and I was able to pull the whole unit out. Now, what you might want to do is at this point disconnect the battery, because the last time I did this I shorted out the instrument panel and that blew a fuse under the bonnet. It's a 15 amp fuse, which is rated for the, or basically is, the circuit is labelled tail lights, but it's actually for this, for the instrument panel as well. I think it also does the interior light as well, so you've got to be a little bit careful, otherwise you can really upset things. If you actually do, there you go, if you do this, that gets it into quite a nice position here. Now there are 2 illumination points, so one of them is, where is it? Somewhere around here. There it is, one of them is here. The other one I think is on the top of the panel itself, so let's see if we can get this out a little bit better. She's coming. She's definitely coming out. this way. So we've got two. So we've got one here, and there's one up further up as well. One right up the top. So to get this one out, we need to, it literally just pops out like so. So a lot of this is done by touch, which is a bit annoying, but that comes out like so. And we can take our painted bulb and pop that into place. So we've got our painted bulb. Which I'm trying to remove from the holder which it's in, but it seems that what has happened is it's actually hardened over the time it's been sat in the storage. That's annoying. Let's see if we can maneuver it slightly. Yeah, it's definitely moving. Don't really want to use these needle nose pliers because they will crush the glass. That works. If you get the baby wipe over it, it gives you enough grip, or a towel or something over it, gives you enough grip to pull that off quite successfully. So, find our bulb holder, which is here, with the bulb in, and grab that, and we can again use some tissues to pull out the bulb. Just protects your fingers as well. If you put too much pressure on it, you're not going to cut yourself with glass. Press that up there for a second. Okay. Oh, let's put these windows down. That's better. Right, so we can should be able to pull that out. Alright, so I'm going to pause this whilst I get this bulb out. So we've got the bulb in place. If we just pop the light on, look at that, got a nice green glow. There we go. So we just need to pop that back into the cluster. So that's going to be up. And a lot of this is by touch again, so I'm going to find where the hole is, which is about there. And we're going to walk the bulb up into said area. So I think we're there. It really is quite fiddly. It's a strange design. And it's in. There we go. So the next one we have to do is this top one. So the top one, if we get this at a suitable angle, is, I can feel it here. Actually right in the position where you would want it to be. So it's right at the top. pops in and out quite easily, so we're going to probably go top out, so we can move this. Let's think, if I go in a bit more, and that there should do it. In fact, what I can do, and what I did last time when I was trying this, was I came through the bottom here, so on this purple and white wire, and you can come through the bottom of the actual panel itself. You just got to remember when you're routing it back in, you've got to be a little bit careful routing it back into place. So it's quite a pig to get out again. A lot easier if you don't have the aircon switch in the way. So if you don't have aircon, you've got one advantage over me, you can actually get the bulb out easier. So it comes out the bottom here, and that's actually easier to get out than the other one. So let's waggle that out, there we go, and let's put the green one in. There we go, we've got the other one in place now. So what we need to do is just route this back up through and then into the cluster itself. So we'll do that shortly. Now what I've actually done is I've actually painted this literally just now, as I didn't get time to do both of them the other day. So I'm trying to use the very limited heat from this bulb to actually just try and dry out this paint a little bit before I work it into the cluster itself. So hopefully that should be enough. So we're going to go under the AC switch, sorry, over the AC switch, and then up into the cluster itself. I want to try and do this in such a way that I don't remove all the paint from it. I want these two red wires out of the way. Sorry, red and black wire rather. That gives me enough, I think. Is that working or not? There we go. There we are, that's going up inside. So I can now poke this up through, and I should hopefully be able to meet that at the top. Actually, if I go this side out, that's better. I should be able to meet this when it's coming up here. So I think that's it there. At least I thought I was able to. Where is it? That's annoying. Alright, let's go back inside. Go up again. Move that. Yeah, there it is. So I think I've got it. There we go. Really is a case of feeling this into place. So you've got the hole at the top where the bulb goes in, and it really is a case of just trying to feel it into place. Just takes a bit of patience. And there you go. And clicks into place like that. So if we turn this on, we appear to have, I'm hoping, green everywhere. So we've got green on this side, and I would hope so on that side as well. There we go. So we should be able to come back up out of the recesses of this hole here, and back up. Make sure no plugs have become unattached. You can hopefully, there we go, pop that back into position, and then you've got your 4 screws to go back in. There we go, so that's your 4 screws. Let's grab the drill, back onto that mode, and let's do these up. That's 1. Oh, 2. 3. 4. Now we've got our centre console, which has been waiting down there. Want to be careful as we don't want to scratch the work that we've done to this. We have done quite a lot of work on this console, so we need to go in slightly at the top to meet up with the little lugs on the dash itself, like so, and then that goes in the rest of the way, like so, and that's it. So we've got 2 down the bottom by the ashtray. And final 2 up above the radio cassette, which is here. And there we go. So final check. The lights on. Can't actually see as it's daytime, but it's a good idea just to do your various checks anyway. So turn on. Yeah, that's fine. Check your sport button. Overdrive off. Overdrive. Perfect. Need to sort out and replace that alternator belt, I think. There we go. Right, if you've found this video useful, don't forget to hit that like button and also consider subscribing for more upcoming fascinating hobbies. Thanks for watching.